up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Gym Podcast. We are back in the studio. It's been a minute. December 3rd. I don't think I mentioned this actually on the previous podcast with our previous guest, but yeah, December 3rd was the last time I was actually in the studio. So it's been a fucking minute. Um, there should be a podcast episode before this one. Yeah, if I did it right, if we have if Jay sends me the audio, if I edit it in time, we should have another one before this. So go check it out because I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I talked about why I took a break and what was the causes and the influences and why it took so long. But yeah, we're back. We're back in the studio. I think for the time being, because our lease ends up in May 1st is when the studio lease ends up. But I know I said in a previous video that I want to kind of get into a new studio, but we I feel like this is just normal now for me. I feel like this is just a space. I'm so accustomed to it. So I feel like if we were to move anywhere else, it would just be, I don't know, just chaos because I would want to have the podcast every week, but then I would have to kind of just move everything out of the studio and put everything out into the new one. So I think it would just interfere. But me and Jay are talking, me and the boys are talking about getting into about staying here. So I mean, it's still up in the air. I mean, we have some time, but Wes Denzel, what's up, bro?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. I first want to say this wasn't planned. Same hats, definitely wasn't planned. But how you been, bro? How
I've
you
been
doing?
I've been good, man. It's nice to meet you in person.
Yeah, for sure, bro. And I just want to say this on camera just because I know previously we were supposed to kind of get everything going back in December. Was it December? Do you
Yeah, kind
remember?
of like end of December,
Yeah,
January. We were kind of planning.
yeah, yeah. And then of course some things happened, personal issues, and yeah, man, it was shit wasn't right. So took some time off, but we back. And then I wanted to. There was one person that hit me up before, and then I wanted to get you next, just because we had planned something, and then I kind of just canceled. So I felt bad. So I'm like, man, you know what? Let's start off with get him on the second one when we get back into it, and then I mean we here now. So
I know, and I try to put some pressure on you by posting that Instagram. I was like, man, maybe he'll see this and be like, I gotta do that thing with
no,
Wes.
I did. I mean, I saw it, but I think AJ had texted me too. AJ Bray had texted me too. He was just like, I don't remember the exact text, but he was like, "Hey, just kind of like on the basis, like, hey, don't forget, my boy wants to." And then he was originally that's how we connected. I mean, so it was just bad timing. But I mean, yeah, we're here now, bro.
I
Yeah,
know, I
we're
know,
here
I
now.
know.
How are you born? Well, this is like I said, this is their first time meeting each other. So you from San Antonio?
I moved here in like 2006, 7.
So I'm AJ Bray is like his parents. I think his parents are in the military. Is that the same
Yeah.
for you?
Yeah, so my mom was
Okay.
in the military, but I didn't like move around. I don't have like that story of like
Oh
moving
yeah,
around all the time. So yeah.
yeah. He said he lived in Alaska for a minute, and I was just
Yeah.
like, God damn. But so you've been here 2006, and then it's kind
Yeah.
of just
Yeah, so I pretty much just been in St. Louis and then here for
oh
most of my
shit,
life. So
damn. St.
yeah.
Louis. How different is it, bro? I mean, I'm sure it's different now, right?
I
Compared
mean
to
I mean, yeah, but like when I lived in St. Louis, like I've been back to visit, but I was like a kid, so you
uh,
don't really
yeah,
like stuff seems the same. But looking back, I think I probably lived in like a bad part of St. Louis. But when you're a kid, you don't really like
yeah. You're
it's like
accustomed.
all
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? But yeah, but I like it. I'm going to visit there next weekend actually, see my grandfather. But yeah.
So
St. Louis is pretty cool. I wouldn't say it's the same culturally,
yeah.
but yeah, definitely like different places. But like I said, just being a kid, you just don't understand.
That's where Nelly's from, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But shit, bro. It's um it's a wild time, man, when you really think about it. Kanye's going crazy. Um
Is it going
yeah.
crazy?
So I mean we can get into it because I've never actually talked about this on camera, but I mean I don't know. It's kind of 50-50. I'm like in the middle because I can understand his point of view of like the whole TikTok thing with his daughter and his kids,
Yeah.
and then like I seen a meme the other day talking about how are people so mad at Kanye when it's like Kim's like third or fourth marriage, like something that is probably not him, it's probably Kim, but I mean you never really know because we're all basing shit off of social media.
Yeah, that's what I started saying. I started seeing like too many people have like opinions
Yeah,
on it, and I don't want to talk about how anybody else raises their kids either. But
yeah,
like I started seeing people have too many opinions. I was like, how about we both just say, or like everybody says, we don't know Kanye, we don't know Kim. Let's just like not comment on it because we don't know like what's going on.
Yeah,
Besides, like you said, what they're putting on social media, and
yeah,
each one probably has like their agenda or how they want something to look. So they're probably gonna post it like a certain way or make it
yeah.
look a certain way.
I think I don't know why this is so funny to me, but whenever he refers to Pete as Skeet,
Yeah.
that's the funniest shit ever. Because I don't know, it's just like it's not a vulgar word, but it was. I think he said in one of his Instagram captions, like it was what people used to call each other. Well, not people, but it was just a term people used to call each other back in the day, and I'm just like, it's just so hilarious, bro. Like, I don't. I mean, people might still say it, but I don't. But it's
Yeah, man,
just
you had that show, Cousin Skeeter.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's man, shit. I know we're talking actually off air about his stem player, and I think he's kind of. I wouldn't say, yeah, I guess so. I mean, he's not really relying on streaming services anymore,
Yeah.
so he's just kind of putting his foot forward on his fans to get, I guess that's one-on-one connection, or I guess no, I guess direct consumer type
Direct to
thing.
consumer,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So that's pretty interesting. I think that kind of just goes in with, I guess, the independent kind of people whenever they kind of just roll independent. But as far as I know, when we first started talking, you wanted to get into the whole artist merch and selling clothing and doing it that way. So what's I mean, you already have clothing now, right? How many pieces have you actually released?
Let's see, how many have I released? I think I've dropped like 4 T-shirts total, 4 or 5.
Eh,
So, yeah, so
Yeah,
not that many, not
yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? That's probably like people's like 1 drop.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
But I mean, that puts you ahead of me, bro. Because I have, man, I've been like I said, I've people know and I'm gonna do it. I promise. I promise. I promise. I promise. We're gonna drop some merch, podcast merch. But that kind of just puts you ahead because you know where to get the clothing from. You know how to do. This is because I actually have a T-shirt here. I think it's on the other side. That's screen printed, right? I'm assuming.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you know the process of that. You know the different types of I guess the different types of styles you can actually do. So it's the screen printing. I know they have like a what's the like a vinyl press, like a
Yeah, so the one I like that feels the best to me is probably just like the normal like screen print.
yeah.
It's like probably like my favorite. I've had shirts with the vinyl press, but I don't know if cheap is like the right word, but it feels like I just like got one of like those kits from Walmart
Oh
and
yeah,
like I
yeah,
just like pressed it with like a
yeah.
heat press on the shirt. That's what it kind of feels like. But yeah, but like the screen print, I'm crying. The
Now you're
screen
good.
this, the screen print is like probably like the best to me and it feels like normal, like something you would get from like, Zoomies or something like graphic T wise.
Yeah. What why do you think? Because I know we were talking off air, but why do you think artists should actually release merch versus not releasing merch?
Because I think, like, a lot of people, especially if you, like, have a pretty good, like, fan base or, like, if you get, like, pretty good plays or consistent plays or good views on your videos, I think it's just, like, a missed money opportunity that you could be bringing in besides, like, streaming. I mean, everybody's not like Kanye. We can't all sell, like,
Yeah, yeah,
$200 album or whatever. So, like, this is probably, like, the next best thing is sell, like, a $40 or $50 T-shirt, and that's, like, on the high end. So, like, if you're thinking of yourself as, like, I don't know, like a Travis Scott or somebody, but, like, just make sure your presentation's on point. But I think mainly it's just, like, people think it's, like, harder than it is, and you're just leaving, like, that money on the table that could help you pay for, like, that next video or, like, even, like, if you're really, like, kinda buzzing as an artist, it could maybe, like, pay your rent. Like,
yeah.
maybe you just drop a T-shirt every month, and that's gonna, like you could make $2,000 off it, and that's gonna help you pay your rent. And then, like, maybe if you got, like, a job on the side, that could be, like, your money toward music or help you just focus on music and not have to work a job.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I feel like you're talking directly to me, bro, because I haven't released my actual podcast merch. So I'm gonna take that personal. Nah. Uh I see where you're coming from because you're people have I guess what they have I guess fear, right? Fear of not people not buying it, fear of it not working, I guess. That I guess that's my main point.
I think it's, like, fear and a combination of, like, just, like, not like, the process is maybe too much to where you're just, like,
Yeah,
putting it
yeah.
out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
in your mind, you think, like, "Oh, this is gonna, like, take forever," or it's just, like, too much to, like, get the graphics together and go submit it or
Yeah.
line it up on a shirt when, like, in reality, like, it's just gonna take you, like, the moment you could spend watching, like, the basketball game or something, you could just do it right there or just work on it, like, a little bit at a
Mhm.
time throughout the day. Because most sites have the option where you could save your design, or if you don't even wanna do that, just send it to them directly and be like, "Hey, this is my art file. Can you match this with the colors? Can you make it this size, 3 inches from the neck for the front graphic? Can you max out the
Yeah.
back graphic or however big you want it? And just email it to them with those with that description, and then they're gonna send it back to you, doing all the work that you didn't want to do. And all you do is have to email them like 2 graphics and just write a couple sentences,
Yeah.
and it's that easy. And then you get like a quote and like I'm probably about to jump into it a little bit, but like
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
you could search around, like, if you don't wanna do it locally, just, like, search around different sites and see what people are charging, pick the same T-shirts or whatever. If you figured out a T-shirt that you wanna use, you could go through that. But say you picked the cheapest T-shirt. So we're gonna go on the site, pick the cheapest T-shirt that they got, and we're gonna put our graphic on it, and let's say we're just doing, like, one color, super simple shirt. So do that for a couple sites, just search around until you find like, "Oh, like, man, I feel like this site is really giving me this site is like $200 cheaper than all the
Yeah.
other sites." And it's gonna be a screen print because 'cause we're doing 40 T-shirts, like, alright, it's all
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
So, let's say you're making the 40 T-shirts and, $10 wouldn't be cheap, but let's say they all cost $10 to make. So 40 times 10 is $400. Let's say you get them in. If you sell the T-shirts for 20 a piece, you're already coming back. If you sell half your stock, you're gonna make up that $400
Yeah.
that it costs you to make, and you still got 20 left. So in reality, and this isn't including like shipping or whatever, obviously, you should probably find like a shipping site like Pirate Ship or something that's gonna cut down those charges for you. Instead of, don't just take it to, because I've took it to just the post
Yeah,
office
me too, bro.
on my own, or took it to wherever and pay like the actual price. Like, find like a site that's gonna
Yeah.
like cut like your shipping in half, and that'll like save you some money, but just not including shipping. You're gonna like make up your costs like super fast or whatever, and then you won't have to worry about like that extra stock. And in reality, you could probably sell like 20 shirts or at least get 10 to where it's just like some close friends and family who just want to like support you. Like, say you never put out nothing.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like your mom, your sister, your cousin, like they're probably gonna like buy it. Your best friend, be like, yeah, I'd like take a shirt. You could probably be charging, I mean, not $100, but you could be charging like $50 for it. They'll probably buy it because it's like you.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, it's my only shirt. If you put like a little story behind it, and boom, and you got that. And it's just like that simple of like just taking that cost. And I know like a lot of people like, I don't want to say take the cheap way, but like a lot of people do like the pre-order method where they don't like make the shirts yet. And I just feel like maybe that could like mess you up in terms of like planning. Maybe you don't produce it how like
Yeah.
you want to, instead of just doing it beforehand and you got like everything right. And maybe like you got all your costs out the way if you decide you want to do like tags or something extra. But most people do bare bones, and most like customers or like who you're gonna sell it to is gonna be okay with that. They're just gonna be happy to have that shirt. They don't need like an extra tag or like a pin or like a sticker or something that's really just like on you if you want to do it, and that could like kind of help you drive up your price if you want to present it as a more expensive item. Because I know, like, personally, like, for my t-shirts, they cost a little bit more to make. I probably use a more expensive blank than I should, but I'm kinda
Yeah, no, it's
but
quality, bro.
but I'm kinda
Yeah.
into fashion, and, I don't really, not to say I don't care about the cost, but, like, I treat it as if, like, I don't care if I make money on it, but, like, I kinda do a little
No,
bit.
yeah,
But
yeah.
but, yeah, so, like, I mean, I get the shirts in, I have a pumice stone, and I'll buy pumice stones, and I hand distress the shirts. I made up a special washing solution that makes them softer. And then after that, after they soak in that for like a few hours or a couple days, put them in the washer. When I take them out from the dryer, dry them with tennis balls. When I take them out, I pumice stone them again to make them soft, and then I iron them to make sure there's no wrinkles, and then I
Yeah.
put them in the bag myself. I put tags and everything on it. You'll probably get like some pins with the shirt, and then I ship them. I mean, I'm running out of boxes now, but if you probably order from me whenever you hear this, there might be like a box or two left. But like I have like a special box that has like that I designed that has like my logos and stuff on it. So that way you get like a full experience when you're
Yeah,
paying
yeah.
like I think it comes out to like $45 after like shipping and tax when you pay for my shirt. So you have like this whole experience or whatever, and you're getting my shirt, and it feels like it's like worth it. And I put all this, and I don't promote that like I do all that stuff to make the shirt like a little bit softer because it's already on the softer side when I get it. Like honestly, you probably
Mhm.
wouldn't know if I didn't tell you,
It
but
smells
yeah,
good though.
but yeah,
It smells good
yeah, and
though.
that's what everybody says. I'm like,
Yeah,
you're like, man, you got the best smelling shirts
yeah.
that I've ever purchased. So yeah, so you just do all that. I mean, nobody has to do all what I'm doing. I'm probably like a little bit crazy for me for it just being merch. I'm probably treating it like it's like an actual clothing line, but it's just merch. I don't try to make it seem like I'm trying to have like an actual like line or something like some of my friends out here who are doing it like way bigger and better than me. But yeah, but it's just
Yeah.
merch, man. And like I said, you could just do bare bones and just like have like, storytelling is important. Like whether you think it is or not, whether you're selling to your friend or you're not, whether you're gonna give it away for free,
Mhm.
it's still important to have that like story element to it. Like this shirt that's on my site now, or the latest one that I came out with, came from Austin Free Week, which is an event that happens every year in Austin, Texas, where artists perform. And luckily, I was able to get booked on it this year for my first time. So I kind of wanted to do some merch that kind of celebrated that.
Yeah, yeah.
And when I did the shirts, I told the story for people not in Austin or not in Texas, or maybe people who live in Texas but they never heard of Free Week or they never been to a Free Week. Like, what is it? So when you get it, you get the tag. It has the story on it from the Red District Cultural Site that explains to you what Free Week is, how it started, and where it comes from. So that's something I want to do to like kind of celebrate myself and promote myself and also tell a story behind it. And you'll see with past releases, I'll do like video rollouts to where I'll kind of like remix my own songs and we'll do like a short video and photos like showing off the merch where I'll be the model or like my friend will be the model. So there's always like a storytelling element to it
Yeah.
so that, people see that like you're kind of putting some work into it and you're not just half-assing like, here, yo, new shirt on my site. Like if you're popping and you're already like buzzing and you sold some shirts, you could probably do that and like make pretty good money off it. But like if you're a smaller artist, just show them that like you're putting like some effort into it, and it probably makes people want to buy more because they're like, man, he's doing all this just for like a shirt.
Yeah.
Like most people don't even do this for like their song or like their album rollout. So it's just putting it behind it. And like I said, you don't even have to. You could just do the bare minimum, just make the shirt, take some photos in it yourself, get your friend and shoot you on the iPhone or whatever, post it up, boom, be like, yo, it's my
Yeah.
first t-shirt. I put my heart in this
Yeah.
design. Yo, please buy it. I spent like my last on the
Yeah.
stock, just like hype it up. And then that way, you did your bare bones and then you could see like, all right, like maybe you sell out of those 40 shirts and that's gonna like inspire you to like, all right, like man, maybe I could do this merch thing. Just keep trying it.
Yeah.
And not to say like you're always gonna sell out or whatever, but you gotta be willing to like take that loss. Like I was kind of telling you earlier, like
That's
you're
yeah, I was just about
you're
to ask that,
you're an
yeah.
artist at the end of the day, and you probably will, even if you don't try to, you'll probably end up giving some away for free anyway. So like don't be afraid to like take that loss and just give it away for free.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing it like bare minimum on the cheapest side of the shirts. Now, obviously, if you're paying like $15 per shirt when you're making it, I don't want you to give it away for free, but if you got
Yeah.
it, just give it away for free. But like I said, if the shirt's costing like $5, $10 to make, and you gotta end up giving away for free because nobody's buying it, it's just promotion.
Yeah, yeah, promotion for sure is advertisement too. Whatever you have on the shirt. I mean, if I think the way I say it, if I ever like for the shirt right here, like you kind of just gave me the whole experience. You got the tags, you got the pins, and then you actually explained to me where you got the inspiration from. It was fucking dope. So you actually showed me the picture of Harley Davidson t-shirt, and I kind of just went that route. And yeah, man, it kind of just made sense to me. So
Yeah,
you just going back to what you said, tell them a story. um, they kind of feel that interaction with you, that one-on-one interaction and experience, and then they're just more, I guess, inclined to actually buy the t-shirt, especially if they support you.
yeah, especially if they support you and if people are like on the fence. So say if
Yeah,
they're on the fence and then they see like somebody else get it in or you repost somebody else getting it in and then they see like all that you bring with you like that is not just like the t-shirt for
yeah,
however much you're charging, then they're like, oh man, he's putting some work behind it. Let me go ahead and purchase one. Or next time I get paid, let me
yeah,
go ahead and like spend the money. So yeah, that's it. And then going back to like the Harley Davidson thing, pretty much all my t-shirts are inspired by like vintage t-shirts or vintage concepts that I kind of like flip or whatever. So that's kind of like the whole base of my thing. So that's why I do like the Puma Snow stuff and trying to make it super soft because I wanted to replicate like you're getting like a shirt that's like, kind of like worn in and
yeah.
already like vintage. So
But it's still brand new.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
brand new.
yeah.
So just to play up on that thing.
The whole merch thing is
Yeah,
shit should
like I,
be.
I know I just explained it super
Yeah,
complicated,
yeah.
but
But
but but you don't have to do that. Like I
yeah,
said, you could just do bare bones. Let me make 40 shirts.
yeah,
They all cost $10. Maybe I found a site that's gonna make it for $6. Like I said, don't be afraid to take that time out and look at different sites. And then you got that cost down, and then just make it. And like I said, just sell it, trying to make your cost back.
yeah, yeah.
You know?
I have a buddy that has a clothing brand. And his was up there, I guess, with quality because he used, how do you say it? It's Uniqlo. He used like
Yeah, 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 yeah.
tennis tees. I'm assuming like the
Yeah,
sleeves were a little loose. Um, but yeah, it was a dope shirt. I mean, he got a screen printed, and it was. It fits good. It hasn't. I washed it like several times, and the color's still there. So I mean, he kind of was on the quality side more or less. But I mean, you don't necessarily have to start off like that.
Yeah,
You
you
can
don't
just
have to be
use
there, and most people, like, to be honest, most people aren't gonna notice that, like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, what your blank is, or if it's, like, super soft, or if it's, like, a shitty blank, unless you're, like, Kanye West using, like, a Gildan
yeah,
tee. They're not gonna be like,
obvious.
"Man, West Denzel is using the Gildan, I'm so mad."
Yeah.
No, that's probably not gonna happen.
You get a yeah, and then on top of that, you can just if they do have a tag, you can just replace it and put like a little.
Yeah,
I've seen on TikTok. You just I don't know what it's just like a heat press on the tag. So I
yeah.
mean, I guess that's pretty cool.
Yep, so you could do that for mine. I don't do any tags, I cut off the tags. Bougie Me wants to, like, actually get some, like, some sewn tags that, like,
Yeah,
have,
that
like,
would
my, like, logo and stuff, but, like, that's when we're getting to, like, price territory to where I gotta figure out, like, "Alright,
yeah,
I can only do so much."
yeah. I think people too don't realize how expensive it can be, especially
Yeah,
if you're doing that. Like if you're going, or I've seen people put tags on the sides, embroidery too. I've seen people kind of do embroidery on t-shirts and hoodies, but that gets pretty
yeah,
expensive, bro.
embroidery is pretty, like, expensive, but,
Yeah,
I try at least not yet. I mean, maybe one day, but, I try to keep, like, the price down. I mean, planning, especially with, like, a lot of, like, the extra stuff, planning probably I'm not the best planner, but planning probably helps out a lot. So if you're gonna do, like, tags and stuff, just make sure you plan it out and that you're not, like, trying to get the tags and then you gotta pay for, like, rush shipping or something.
yeah, yeah.
Like, just have it planned out really well, or just be willing to, like, put it out, like, at a later date if you're waiting till, like, the last minute. But yeah, that's the only thing I could say is to where, like, it could get, like, accidentally expensive if you're just, like, trying to cover, like, those rush shipments from, like, different places. This is also, like, a cheat code if you order, like, some tags or something from you printing, just do the minimum amount and, like, make it, like, a custom size, and they'll send you way more than the minimum amount. So that's a good way to, like, save money. So if you need 75, you don't have to order 75, just get, like, quantity 25, make it a custom size.
Shit, that's yeah, free game. Fuck, I didn't
So,
know
yeah,
that.
so that's like if you go on
Yeah, yeah,
uprinting.com, pretty much
yeah, yeah.
anything you order, like, tag-wise, I've realized because 'cause I've done to where I've got, like, a bunch of tags at just, like, the normal quantity, and then I've done to where, like, "No, let me see," like and
Have you?
I've done this multiple times, so this is, like, foolproof so far.
Yeah, yeah. No, it makes sense. Have you dived into like manufacturers like from China and stuff like that?
No, I think that's where we're getting into, like, if I wanted to, like, be, like, a clothing brand.
Yeah, yeah. I seen a tweet the other day from a huge fitness clothing brand, and he was talking about how stuff that is releasing actually this past weekend was ordered 11 months ago, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Holy fuck,
Yeah,
that
so
is crazy."
that's like real planning, and then you got like
Yeah.
all the production delays and stuff right
Well,
now.
yeah.
But
That's the
yeah, if I was jumping into cut and sew, then yeah, it'd be like a whole different ball game. And then I'll probably want to call it. I probably wouldn't label this like artist merch, at
yeah,
least not at this point. Maybe if I was like a bigger artist or something, kind of like a Kanye West or
yeah.
you know
He
Drake, then maybe I would go that route. But as like the stature I am now, I just like finding like the blank I use now. I love it. So you know, it's the fit that I want it to be. So I'm satisfied with that for now.
Yeah, and it's easier too, right? I guess it's, faster, you don't gotta wait for
Yeah,
as
yeah.
much time.
Yeah, and then you don't have to, like, run through, like, man, is this, like if you don't know about, like, making patterns and,
Yeah,
like, all that
yeah,
production side of stuff or having to worry about hiring, like, a pattern maker or, like, figuring out, like because most people can't even, like, read measurements on a site to determine how something
yeah,
fits, like, luckily, like, I can
yeah,
read measurements and I kinda, like, know, like, how stuff fits and I kinda know a little bit how to pattern make, so, like, I'm not gonna say it'd be easy because it probably wouldn't be easy, but, like, it'd be, like, a little less kinda like, trial and error.
mhm,
But yeah, I think like if you jump into that, like maybe you're just diving too face forward into like the merch game. And I've even had friends who want to do cut and sew, and I think it kind of creates that delay thing again.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think especially when you haven't like dropped anything at all, like unless you're just really like trying to scale and you got like just like a spare like 50 grand or something, just like chilling or whatever,
it's
then if you want to do
yeah,
that, then like sure have fun. But if you're just like people like me and you, and like maybe you got like a little side job and you're just like trying to get like your artist shit off,
mhm,
then I think probably just like finding like a good blank that you like, because you can go through all the blanks and just order them. Like that's a good way to find out that like, hey, I don't like this t-shirt, but this one, like maybe I could rock with this, and you could try them all on and see how it fits, rather than like
yeah,
trying to make up your own pattern of like the perfect t-shirt that you think is the perfect t-shirt?
I think that's what took me so much time because let's see, this was the last week of October last year. It took me about 3 weeks to actually find the perfect shirt, but I was just being I guess picky. When I guess I really shouldn't have, just because it's like the first time I was about to do it. Um, but I remember going back to this I guess this screen printing shop that I was gonna get it done at, and I trying on t-shirts and kind of feeling the fabric. But I think my whole thing with doing that is I want merch or yeah, podcast merch that that I feel comfortable wearing.
Yeah.
So I think that was the kind of delay, but man, I must have tried on like fucking 15 t-shirts, bro.
No, I'm the same way. I just got kind of lucky with my first pick. Cause my very first tee I have a big he's my graphic design friend. He doesn't do much work for me because he charges me like real like prices. So
But yeah,
so
he's still a
so
buddy.
so
Yeah,
yeah, so
yeah.
he's my buddy. So he works for Complex magazine in New York. So
Oh, that's dope.
so yeah, he does like a lot of like the visual stuff for like their videos or whatever. But yeah, so he did my first project with me and for my Sia Science shirt. When we were finishing up, I had asked him like, hey, like since he was kind of spearheading the project and I was just kind of like on like the direction, like yes or no side. I was like, man, what kind of blanks do you think we should use? And he kind of gave me two choices. And then I just kind of like went through and like pretty much, especially like now, but Reddit has like all your answers. So I just basically was
Yeah,
like, yo, this shirt or this shirt, Reddit. And I just seen what people said about like each of the shirts. I started figuring out who uses the shirt I have now and why they used it on like how the shirt looks. But overall, the shirt that I use now, it has like the kind of the vintage look that I want and it has like the feel that I want
yep,
beforehand. Even just like talking to like people, if you ever been to like a market or something where people sell stuff and I bring up like the blank I use, they're like, oh, that already has a vintage feel and you do all that extra stuff too. I'm like, yeah. So I think like I made the right choice, but I never decided to like try the other shirt.
yeah. I feel that.
So yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned a good point. Was Reddit. I mean, you don't if you don't know what Reddit is, but I mean now most people should. But as I think people just you can find most information online. I guess that's my point I'm trying to
Yeah.
get across.
Yes, any question
Yeah,
you have, like, any question I
literally.
ever have now, I just type it and then I put Reddit at the end and I just find, like I just go through different threads to see, like, people's opinions and then just make my own choice based off that or just have that information like that. Like, last night, I have this grand idea, I don't wanna say I'm not gonna do it, but
Yeah.
I wanna open up
Yeah.
a luxury clothing boutique in San Antonio, kinda like how, like, you have, like, Essence and, like, stores like Unknown and stuff. Because I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
like, we're kinda missing, like, that in San Antonio, so I was like, how much does it cost to open a small boutique?" And then I just put Reddit after, and then, like, I found a thread of people, like, breaking down, like, how they open, like, their small boutique and, like, the cost and what you gotta deal with and consider and all this
Yeah.
stuff. So, yeah, so literally, like, any question you ask, if you're traveling somewhere, like, "Yo, what should I wear when I travel XYZ?" Reddit. Like,
Yeah.
any question you ever have, just put Reddit after, so that way you get, like, some varying opinions and you can kinda see what people think.
Yeah, I think YouTube for me personally was a huge help when it came to audio and video editing. I had no idea, literally zero. Like I mean, I used to work at Apple, so it was a little easier for me because I knew what the app was. I knew how the function. Like I just didn't know actually how to apply it to like an actual project.
Mhm.
And then yeah, after a couple months, it was very very seamless. But I think people are just like I don't know if it's not I don't know if they don't have time. I don't know if they want to put on effort, but they just kind of just like you're going like the easy route. So yeah,
Yeah,
just
I think it's just making it bigger than it is in your mind. It's
yeah,
like when you have
yeah,
something like coming up in your life and you hype it up so much in your mind, and then when it happens, you're like, man, like this is it. I
yeah.
think it's like just kind of one of those like people just hyping so much that it just makes you afraid when you really shouldn't be, or it just makes you like think about like unnecessary things instead of just kind of like not just doing it, but like saying like, all right, I got the means, I got the idea, like let me just go ahead and just go through with it. If I fail, I fail, like whatever, and nobody's gonna know.
I was gonna ask you, um, the graphic designer you mentioned before, were you like friends with them before, or how did that
Yeah,
come
I
about?
was already friends with him, and then I just decided to hit him up. He carried me, and it was a real professional like experience. He definitely showed me. I was like, oh, he definitely is like his job title.
Legit, yeah,
'Cause it
yeah.
was, like, the most, like, professional, like and he didn't have to be that way. Cause like I said, we were, like, texting and he's, like, my friend, but he presented everything as if it was, like, a true client, and it was kinda like what you pay for. But it was just too expensive for me to do, like cause that adds to, like, the cost of,
Yeah,
like, if
yeah.
you do something like if you outsource or whatever and they charge you, like, a certain amount, then it adds to, like, you gotta make that up on top of, like, you paying for production on the T-shirts.
Yeah, because all the prices go within
Yeah,
what you're selling. Yeah.
so it's just another cost that, not to say you don't wanna deal with, but, like, maybe you just don't have the money yet to, like, kinda, like, weigh that
Yeah, yeah.
cost, or it's not something that you feel like you can charge customers 60, $70 for a shirt.
Yeah, which is I think you gotta have the experience if you're gonna charge that. Like, something you're putting out, I mean, I'm sure you could if you wanted to just because of the amount of effort you're putting into it.
Mhm.
But, I mean, you just finished saying that's not, like, your whole goal. Your whole goal is to, just well, yeah, that's a good question. What would your whole goal with the actual merch?
It's just to have merch. Like I was telling you before, I gotta get out of that mindset of like wanting to sell out every time and just
Yeah.
like having something that always lives on the site. I mean, if you go to your favorite brand site, like all their stuff isn't like out of stock. If it was, you'd be like, man, like I can never buy
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
You'd be like, what the heck? So I think I know I just want like a t-shirt or like something or just items to just like live on the site. Obviously, I don't want 10 items living on the site at the same time. That wouldn't be very like beneficial to me, but, if I have, like, 1 t-shirt up there, like, at a time, I think that's, like, cool, and that's, like, a good way, like, if somebody discovers you or goes to your site, they can always, like, buy something. Instead of, like, you dropping something, they go to your shirt, they're like, "Man, like, everything's
Yeah.
sold out. I wanted to buy something." And it's like, man, you just missed that because 'Cause you're probably, like, 9 times out of 10, if you don't really know them like that, you're probably not gonna get that again or, it's just, like, too late. But, like, I like having something that just, like, lives on the site. And
Yeah.
you could just, like, go to if, like, somebody asks you if you have merch, maybe you're breaking this down. It's like, boom. It's like we could be doing this interview and then people hear it and they want to check it out. If they go to my site and potentially want to buy something, how would it be if it was just sold out?
Yeah. No.
It wouldn't like work out. And then obviously there are gonna be certain sizes sold out and stuff, but I just want at least want to have something to where like there's like some stock in like a reasonable size that people wear that they can like, all right, like I'll wear this. Cool.
Yeah, yeah. Especially you said it earlier for the like new people that discover you. Like the new people that discover you, you don't want to and then say, especially if they rock with you and they support you like off the top, and you're like, this is something where they can actually really, really support you. But I want to transition into the whole music part because I've always been fascinated with music. It's a thing where you get emotions, you can get yeah, just certain shit that just comes with music that is just so dope. But I wanted to ask you, when did you first start kind of just making music, or when did you first get into the whole music thing?
So let's see. I'll give you like a full story. So
Yeah, go ahead.
1999, 2000, not sure. I probably was like 5 or 6. So I seen the Nelly Country Grammar music video, and obviously I'm a kid in St. Louis at this time.
Yeah,
So I'm watching the video, and I was just like, I think like that's when I knew. Like at that point, I like obviously you have like those stories that like your parents and like older cousins tell, like, man, you were always like singing songs when you were like 3 or 4, but you can't remember that. But like the one moment
yeah,
that sticks out is like seeing that Country Grammar music video, and I didn't know I wanted to be like a rapper or anything, but I knew like I wanted to like make music or not make music, but be an entertainer. So that was a moment, and then I guess moving forward, just like getting older, I think my next inspiration is probably like I seen like the Kanye West Through the Wire video, so
yeah,
I think
yeah,
it played on air for like 2 years or something. But I always seen that video, and then I was like, man, like I think I want to like make music. So I think I wrote like my first rap in like 5th grade or something. It's talking about like killing people.
shit, off the bat.
But I think that's like
Yeah,
everybody's story. They're like the most like hard person in like their first rap. But yeah, so 5th grade, I wrote like my first rap, and then I think 6th grade, I spent like a summer in like New York, and my cousin's friend he lived in Fort Greene, Brooklyn, so we were at his, apartment, and he had a whole, like, recording setup, and then we were just recording because they all knew I rap, but obviously, I'm just, like, a kid, like, I probably sucked at the time, like, I probably
yeah,
have some of it, I'll go back and listen to it, it's, like, trash at the time, but, like, I think that was, like, my introduction to it. So he had, like, a whole little, like, home setup, and then I think everybody fell asleep, and I was, like, the only one up, and I just kinda figured out, like, how to press record and just, like, record myself, and I didn't really know what I was doing, and then from there, I went, like, home, and I was like, "Alright, I gotta make an at-home recording studio." So this is probably, like, 2005, 2006, and I make like my own. It wasn't like the best like quality stuff, but I got like a mic from Walmart, and I figured out like how to like hook it up to like the computer and like what kind of interface I needed. And I just had
Jeez.
like a little like at home recording studio. I think like I stuffed the mic in between like a bean bag and like something else so it could be like steady
Savage,
as
yeah.
it as if it was like a mic stand.
Yeah.
So I got that and had my first like at home recording studio. And I think eighth grade I kind of like leveled up equipment wise and I got what I ended up using from like '07 to like probably like 2 years ago or a year ago. And that equipment lasts me that long. And nobody could
Dang.
tell. I just got better at like mixing and stuff over the years to where like you might have thought the quality got better, but it's like that same equipment.
Do you pretty much do everything yourself?
Yeah, I do everything myself. I can make beats, but I did that for one album, and I think, like, it got it out of my system
Yeah.
to, like, do everything because I think that was, like, a challenge
Yeah, yeah.
or something, so I did that for one album to where I produced everything, wrote everything, and then, like, now I find it much easier just to, like, look for beats and then just kinda, like, write to them or
Yep.
whatever, and then, like, I'll make beats on the side, but, like, not for me. I'll try to, like, get them to people to use or, like, if people have, like, YouTubes or stuff, I try to promote them that way, but as far as me, like, writing to them, I normally don't, but I just know, like, if it ever came down to it and I was just in a room with just me and, like, the computer and they're like, "Oh, you need to make something, you can't have, like, no samples, and you don't have to worry about, like, paying nobody else," that I could do it.
Yeah. I've always found it very difficult to make the beat and then rap on it. Like I've always found that super, super hard. Maybe it's just like I'm not as creative as some people are I guess when it comes to I guess music, but to actually make a beat and then find like a melody or however you make the beat and or rap and actually sound together and it's like legit and it's dope, that's fucking difficult. It
Yes.
sounds difficult to me.
So what I used to do or what I kinda still do, I mean, I guess I'm not recording myself, but this
Yeah.
is what I wanna do if I, like, work with artists, but for the most part, I just try to get, like, a good loop to where, like, maybe it's not, like, the full beat or, like, everything, but I'll have, like, most of it, probably, like, 80%. And then, like, I'll have a part, maybe I'll put, like, something extra where I'm like, "Alright, that's only gonna be in the hook." If I have, like, that as, like, a good base to where maybe, like, it's, like, 2 minutes and 1 minute is just, like, normal, like, loop, and then the next minute is just, like, what would be the hook. If I can get that, then I'll do that, and then if I need to structure it for, like, an artist or something or for, like, myself, because normally I don't upload them, which I should probably start just, like, building them out and just, like, put
Yeah,
them up
yeah.
for sale or something. Because 'cause I put up one beat and I've had, like, one artist, like, randomly, like, use it and he, like, hit me up on Instagram and stuff. But, like, yeah, so I would just do it like that, and then I would, like, pretty much write the song just to that loop, and then after I record it, I would finish building it out.
Makes sense. I see what you
Yeah,
okay.
so I'm not kinda because this is one thing I talk about, especially, like, working with artists, I don't wanna write the song for them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I don't wanna structure it to where, like, "Yo, the verses are 12 bars, like, your verse gotta be 12 bars, the hook is like this, there's a bridge right here," or, rearrange it later. I want it to be just like a loop, and then, like, if you want your verse to be, like, a little bit longer, if you want it to be a little bit shorter, it can be that. You just live like that. You don't have to be like, "Man, I gotta, like, come up with 4 more bars because the beat is like this. I don't
Yeah.
have the stems because 'cause I'm not gonna pay, like, the all out price or whatever." It's just like, "Yo, I'm just working with him. We got this loop. Like, if we need to do it a different way, we can do it a different way." So it's like that. But,
Yeah.
like, a lot of beats, like, especially when you pay for them, they already got the drops in there and stuff, so you gotta figure out it's
Yeah.
like writing it for you. Like, maybe you didn't wanna have a drop right there, and you're just like, "Ah."
Yeah, no,
But
that
even now when I'm buying beats, I've got to the point I think it's because I did produce to where, like, I'll, like, maybe, like, restructure them, like, a little bit where I'm
mhm.
like, "Alright, I don't like this," and then I mean, I just did it the other day where, like, it wasn't the end of the song, but I was like, "Alright, this is gonna be the end of the song," but it doesn't come back with the same hook sounds that it started with, so I just took it from the first place and I'll, like, place it to where, like, it needs to be, and that's, like, a little I wouldn't say cheat code, but that's just me, like, rearranging, like, the beat to, like, fit my needs of the song and not just like, "Yo, I gotta write to how the song is." It's like, no,
Yeah.
I want it to be like the beginning. Imma just take it from the beginning.
No, so that makes sense. It makes perfect sense because you get a pre-beat and you have to basically what you said, you have to go like if basically the beat is writing the song. That makes
Yeah.
that's what you're kinda saying, right? That's what you're kinda
That's
alluding?
yeah, that's what I think in my opinion. I mean, other people might not view it that way, but in my opinion, like sometimes like certain parts write themselves for you instead of
Yeah, yeah.
like you like having like that creative control of like, all right, like if this dude or this producer is working with me. Now, obviously, if you buy like the full beat and you get like the stems and everything, you don't really have to worry about that.
Yeah.
But or you got like the I don't know, like the the wherewithal to like be like, yo, I'm gonna just take the beginning, just put it here. Like I got the tempo, I can just place whatever where I want to place it. I mean, even though technically you're not supposed to,
Yeah.
but yeah. So I mean, it's just like little things that like you could do, but like that's what I like to do. I know most people though, if I just send them a loop, they kind of do want it more like built out, and I know that's like a hard thing. Like, yo, we're gonna like build the song together, like we can finish it
Yeah,
together.
yeah, yeah. Nah, I feel that.
Yeah.
I know a big thing now is like in music is just I guess going independent, right? There's like independent labels too, or just people actually I'm trying to figure out who was like the first one to actually make it mainstream. Maybe Chance the Rapper? Maybe I
I
don't know.
guess mainstream, yeah.
Yeah, because he was like the I don't
Him or like Tech Nine or somebody.
oh yeah, yeah, Tech Nine.
But Tech, I don't know if Tech Nine is mainstream. Kind
He
of,
used
sort
to.
of.
Yeah, he used to.
But
I'm trying
yeah, I
to
guess Chance the Rapper got it to where it was like in everybody's face to
yeah,
where
because I mean, because that's the I think that's the first time I've ever heard about it. Because I think when he released shit, what was it? I think Acid Rap. I think that's what it was.
yeah, Acid
Uh,
Rap was just like the mixtape that we all like knew about. But I
yeah,
think like the coloring book was like the major,
yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, okay, okay.
like I'm independent.
Yeah, and that was I think yeah, that's the first time I've ever heard about it. But I want to hear your views because it's always interesting. Do you, I guess, based on the circumstance, going independent, or do you like if there was, I guess, a deal out there, would you take it or would you still go the independent route?
Oh, I'm signing the deal.
Yeah,
I'm signing the deal. I see a lot of people like talk about it and it's like controversial, but I
yeah,
don't know. I think you got to know like what you want out the game or how big you want yourself to be or you know. But at my point, like right now, if somebody came to me and it was like I don't even say if it was a deal that makes sense. So I tell everybody just sign whatever. It doesn't matter. Like literally, like you're like not to say like you're nobody, but you're nobody. Nobody knows you. There's like no like downside to signing the deal. You just live your same life for the most part. So just if you get a bad deal, just sign it. The worst thing that could happen is you get super popping, get a super good song. You know what's gonna happen? Somebody's gonna come in, and somebody's gonna take care of that deal for you.
yeah,
Or you're gonna get like a better deal. Maybe that deal's kind of still somewhere in there, but you got like a better situation now, working with better people. So really, what is the downside if you're like a smaller artist to sign in a deal? It's like my life stays the same.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's gonna stay the same anyway if I didn't blow up. So there's only positives to I'm not gonna say only positives, but there's only positives to signing the deal if you sign like a good deal. Now, if you're doing your thing and you're making like a consistent living, I guess say like a Dom Kennedy. If you're
yeah,
doing
yeah,
your thing like Dom Kennedy and a label comes to you, should you sign the deal then? Probably not because you're already making money. You got like a good fan base. You're putting out merch. It's selling good. You got a full store. You're doing your thing. You got artists under
yeah,
you. You
yeah,
can go on tour and everything you need to. You got people connected to you that work in the industry. It's no really benefits to you signing a deal. There's downside to that. But if you're a smaller artist and somebody like maybe discovers you and wants to like build you up and give you some money, why wouldn't you?
yeah, yeah. I think that's the biggest thing, right? Is just I guess starting off is money and I guess time. Because
Yeah.
I think
So
that's
so
what labels give you, right? Well, not the time part, but just the money
Yeah,
part.
so if somebody confront you, I mean, it's basically just a loan.
Yeah,
Somebody
yeah,
confront you like, you know, a loan that could help you maybe like not work and maybe dedicate some time and maybe work with somebody you always wanted to work with.
yeah,
Like, you know, just like sign it. Or maybe like they just gonna like take care of like your bills or something. I mean, if you're not signing to like no shady, like my homie down the street
yeah,
or somebody that I know, you know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying? If you're signing to somebody, I guess quote unquote reputable, if they have like a label or something, sign a deal. Like I said, it's literally no downside. You get a little loan worst gonna happen if they're professional, they're not gonna kill you. So like it's all good. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? You're gonna keep your life. Like just sign it. It's no downside at all.
yeah. I guess the part that I've seen is just the whole mastering part. Like companies or these labels having your masters forever, and it's I think who
Yeah, but it's back and forth. So say if you got your masters,
yeah.
what you gonna do with it?
Well, I guess the part as getting revenue from it, like
I,
the
I
streaming part.
know, but what are you gonna so you got your masters. You was on the label, now you're independent, now you got your masters. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I don't know.
What are your connections to how are you gonna get it? If say you got a big song you wanted in a movie,
Yeah,
or you want it in a commercial or something, you just gonna reach out yourself potentially, depending on how big how big. If you're Kanye
yeah,
West, it might work.
yeah,
It
yeah.
might
It's
be all good that you're like independent and you can do this yourself, and maybe you got like a good team or like
yeah. I see what you
some of
mean.
your people work in the industry. But you know, if you're like mid level, whatever, like how are you gonna use your masters? Like, say if you don't have the right person, or maybe like you getting your masters
Yeah,
effed up that relationship that you had. And now you don't have a way to like make money off. You just got a master. You just own the music. It's
I,
cool.
yeah,
And you're gonna get your streaming money and like, that's tight if you're streaming like a lot. But for those bigger opportunities that maybe you want, and like I said, you gotta ask yourself what you want. So maybe you don't
yeah,
want that, maybe you just want the streaming money. Maybe that's good enough. You live like a pretty like normal life. You don't have much to worry about. But if you
yeah,
don't, if you want to get bigger, if you want that recognition, if you want the placements and stuff,
yeah.
then it doesn't mean anything. But
Yeah, because I guess going back to the question, I guess it just all depends on your situation, right? So let's just say you did, like, you're a small artist, and then you signed a deal, and then from there, um, contracts the best contract ever, and you get your masters after. But you're still not as popping as you think you would be. So
yeah,
that's
so
where it comes in, where you're like, who do you know to actually get me into a position to where I can still make
yeah, who do you know?
decently?
Or
Yeah,
you'll have to end up signing some type of deal. Like
yeah,
you might
yeah,
just sign like you see like Frank Ocean sign like a pub deal. So he's not like on like he don't have to go to them and like report that like, hey, I'm putting out an album or can I have the budget for this? But like, yo, like I need y'all to kind of like work my music like a little bit more
yeah,
so I
yeah,
can get like a little bit extra revenue. That's what I'm hiring you for. You're gonna get some money out of it. I'm gonna get some money out of it. And I still got the creative control. I can just drop my album whenever I want. I don't have like no obligation.
he needs to
You,
drop
ju-
a
you
fucking
just
album.
you just handling my catalog. But you
Yeah,
see what I'm saying? So
I
even
know.
him who was super independent, I finesse Def Jam, whatever, still at the end of the day, like, yo, Warner Chapel, like, hey, I need y'all to like kind of like work with me, hook me up. It's
Yeah.
beneficial for the both of us.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. Yeah, you just going back to, I guess, what do you really want out of it?
Like I said, but like if you just want to, if you're doing pretty good streaming, you just want to stream. Like I think like Dom has like a perfect good career. If you don't want to be like too famous, and like if you just like the life you're living,
Yeah,
and like you don't want that attention, like you figured out like man, like whoa, that attention is like maybe like too much for me or whatever. And I think that's like a good place to be to where like you're just like making that consistent money. You got like a good fan base. You can go on tour. You can drop when like you want
yeah,
to, and do that. That's like a good career right there. But say if you got bigger aspirations and you really want to like spread that music out and like so it just depends like what you want to do, but also you would have to kind of like have been at that level. So Dom stayed independent his whole career. You don't have to question that. So if you decide that you want to go major and then later on you change your mind,
yeah, yeah,
you got to come into like, all right, what am I giving up versus what am I gaining?
yeah. No, it makes perfect sense. But shit, bro. Anything you want to say? Anything you want to talk about before we head up out of here?
If you
Yeah.
if you're finished talking, I'm finished talking.
Well, I
Probably
mean, we pretty much covered.
cause some arguments on the contract talk.
Yeah, yeah. No, so that's always my biggest thing, because I've always liked just hearing people's views, and uh, I mean, especially if they're like opposed or not. I'm not saying we had any
Yeah, yeah,
disagreement or anything, but like, especially if they have an opposed view, or it's interesting, because I mean, not everybody thinks the same, and everybody's been through different experiences and sees shit's totally different. So it's always
yeah.
good to have that one on
Yeah.
one
Yeah, no, for
conversation.
sure. I'm not against it, but I think just some
Yeah,
people I
yeah.
think it's just like popular just to be like, yo, I'm staying independent. I want to keep my masters. And nobody like,
Nobody knows you.
knows what it
Yeah.
means or
Well,
whatever, or
that
like,
too.
or what is keeping the music gonna do for you.
Yeah.
So that's all. It's just have some point of view on it. Or just even if you sign, if you try it, just decide that like, all right, I didn't really like that.
Yeah.
It didn't work out for me.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, they're not forever. The
Mhm.
the fucking your record deals, they're
Yeah.
not forever. So
They can be, but
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. If you set it up that way, if you sign it. But shit, bro. What are your handles? Your Instagram, Twitters. What are your handles, bro? So people can
So
follow you.
everything is Wes Denzel, Wesdenzel. You can find me on there. I'm pretty not famous enough yet, so I respond to everybody. Even if I do, I'm gonna try. I've ran into like some I guess you'd call them celebrities. Some celebrities are pretty popular people that they respond to like their DMs, like no matter who it is. I don't know if that's like a little like psychopathic or whatever that you
Who
like have all those like things. So
can you name some?
so
Can you?
you have Andrew Schultz
Oh, okay, okay.
from Flagrant 2,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Brilliant Idiots. He's kind of switching up his content a little bit, but he's a cool guy. But yeah, he's cool. He'll still like respond if you hit him up.
Wait a moment, see.
Virgil when he was alive.
Jeez, R.P. Virgil, man. Damn.
He would always respond. Tremaine Emory, Denim Tears.
Damn, Virgil will respond.
Yeah,
That's
Virgil would respond. It
crazy.
might take him a bit, but he respond.
Yeah,
Maybe his assistant or something. I mean, you don't know.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
but
See,
I met Virgil before, so it's another story for another time. But Tremaine Emory, probably like the nicest person who's popular that you'll ever meet. He just got named as creative director for Supreme.
I seen you post that.
So yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
he's super nice, probably the nicest kind of famous person. He wasn't like quite at like the fame he is now when I met him, but super dude, good dude. Talk to you like he knew you for 10 years. It's how when I met him, I was like, man, I want to treat people like this. I want to like speak to people like that, like
yeah.
strangers, like I knew them for like 10 years. But yeah, so I think that's it. Nobody really, I don't really be trying to like DM famous. I don't
Yeah,
just be
yeah.
like, yo,
On purpose, yeah.
gonna respond.
Shit, bro.
Yeah, those are big names I could think of
Yeah.
real quick. But yeah, so
It's
hopefully I can be like that. I just started thinking like, man, if Virgil, even if it's his assistant, if he could get to it, then like when I'm on, then I can be able to like get to everybody that has like
yeah,
something to say to me.
yeah, yeah. That I mean, that just goes back to having that interaction with your fans or your people that support you. But shit, bro, this has been a dope conversation. I'm glad we actually finally met after some time. I'm glad fucking AJ kind of made us connect. Shout out to AJ Bray. But yeah, man, we episode shit. This is I said the last podcast episode, but this is episode 73. And man, I'm glad to have you. I'm glad to have you on, bro. This was a dope conversation.
Thanks, man. It was good
Yeah.
to be on. It's pretty cool being here, checking out your studio space. It's good talking to you. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, bro. Shit. If you're still watching right now, go ahead and like the video. If you haven't subscribed, I'm telling you, we're back to posting a podcast every single week. Typically, I'm gonna change it up. I want to kind of do Mondays and Tuesdays, just because there's a setup to that and a specific reason, which I will probably get into in another video. But yeah, man, I appreciate you. Until next time, people. Peace.